it was with some fanfare a number of years ago that they announced that the classic Val Kilmer Willow was going to be returning. I remember they made a big deal out of it. And I remember at the time, I proclaimed why. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the original Willow. I have Mad Modigan. I have great, wonderful memories of the original Willow. I really do. But I never really understood, is this really something that you think is going to be, touch the pulse of the cultural, ecosystem right now? I just don't know that Willow is the thing to do it. But they announced they were going to do it. And I will admit that as the series got closer, the trailers started looking a little bit more appealing to me. And it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm in. I'm looking forward to seeing this. This looks like it could be fun. So the premiere dropped and I watched it and I'm like, this isn't very good. And then I watched another episode. I'm like, nope, still not very good. And then I did the UFC tap out and I tapped it. Now, here's the funny thing. A few weeks later, I decided to load up Willow anyway and just say, well, I think one of the shows I was watching just finished. I'm thinking, you know what? Let me see what was doing. And I watched like 10 minutes of it and I was just, this is just awful. It's just not good. And I just couldn't get into it. Now, there are people out there who really liked it, and that's great. That's the beauty of the subjectivity of the art, right? Is that you can have something that you don't like that somebody else does, or that somebody else doesn't like and you love. That's the wonderful thing about the art. I love that. And I love that there are people who enjoyed it, but it really wasn't for me. And it became really apparent because after about it being on air for 3 or 4 weeks, crickets. I heard nobody talking about this show. None of you guys, our viewers, were writing in questions or comments or explanations, anything about the show. Nobody discussed it. It got to the point that I remember I saw a headline in my newsfeed saying, Willow season finale comes out tonight. I'm like, I totally forgot that show was even a thing. Well, with all that, it came with great shock and surprise that on deadline, the story came, Willow canceled after only 1 season on Disney+. Deadline says this. It says, there will be no second season of Willow, Disney Plus's live-action original series based on the 1988 fantasy series directed by Ron Howard. The news comes 2 months after the 8-episode first season of the show, which served as a sequel to the classic movie, ended its run on the streaming platform. All right. There's a couple of thoughts I have here. Number one is, well, no kidding. Even if I didn't like it, that's fine. Like we all can not like something that is still very popular and has success, but this was clearly having no success. We heard nobody ever talking about it. Fans weren't buzzing about it. It just kind of was dead in the water. The second reason I'm really not surprised by this is because there appears to be happening at Lucasfilm right now. And don't forget, Willow is a Lucasfilm production. There appears to be right now a sweeping of the decks. We all know, as I kind of reported a couple months ago, that Kathleen Kennedy is outgoing as the president of Lucasfilm. Now, they have not acknowledged that yet. I said a long time ago, I don't expect them to acknowledge it till maybe a couple of months after Indiana Jones 5 comes out. But everybody in the industry knows she's now on her way out. And maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember exactly, they made the announcement, reports came out that long gestating Kevin Feige Star Wars movie swept away. That Patty Jenkins one that they had taken off the release schedule, but they still said was on the docket and all that kind of stuff, gone now. A lot of the other projects that had been talked about, whispered about, haven't been talked about, and we talked about whether or not Disney and Lucasfilm was kind of like clearing a bunch of stuff off of Lucasfilm's plate so that whoever the incoming new president of Lucasfilm will have more of a playground they can wiggle with, give them a little bit more maneuverability, a little bit more flexibility. And I can't help but wonder if Willow getting canceled is a part of that move. But then again, they didn't need the excuse for a new incoming president to cancel this thing because I don't know that anybody was watching it, to be honest with you. Anyway, Chris, you heard about this. I can't remember. Were you getting excited for Willow prior to it coming out? And then what did you think about it?
I was really excited about it because I loved that movie. Although I think we talked about this too. Logan and I had remembered it so differently than what we actually saw. Yeah, because then when it was on Disney Plus, we were watching it and went, oh, I totally came up with a different story. It was like how people thought like those Kazam movies were different, right?
Right.
But I was really excited about this. I love Warwick Davis. I think he's
he's
incredible.
a treasure. I love him.
Absolutely love him. And, I just love this world and everything. And I always think it's fun when we do a fantasy story, too, where people have like American dialects and it feels a little more modern, too. So I had a whole bunch of high hopes for this. But I kind of tapped out after I think episode 2 or 3. I think you got further than me, Taylor. But I just wasn't into it. It just didn't feel as magical as that first movie. And maybe it just has to do with I saw the first Willow at such a young age and I really enjoyed it and connected with it. And I know a lot of audiences liked this, but it just didn't, tick all the same boxes that movie did.
Did any of you guys watch the full series?
I didn't even see the first episode.
You didn't even see the premiere?
No. I still kind of want to see some of it. The trailers looked great. I'll say that. It really got me excited.
It actually got me looking forward to it.
And the only reason I didn't see it is because everyone kind of panned it.
Well, anyway, guys, question is for you, although you probably didn't see it either. What do you think about Willow being canceled after 1 season? I mean, the only good news I can take away from this is maybe Warwick Davis is now free to do something else.
Oh, I hope so.
Whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, MasterClass. MasterClass offers classes on a wide variety of topics, all taught by world-class instructors at the very top of their fields. Each class is broken out into individual video lessons, usually around 10 minutes long. And MasterClass is completely accessible on your phone, the web, smart TV, and available via audio mode to listen to classes on the go. They have over 2,500 video lessons from over 180 of today's most brilliant minds. They're all available anytime, anywhere on iOS, Android, desktop, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Now, obviously around here on the John Campea Show, we love our movies, so why not learn filmmaking from Jodie Foster, or maybe directing from Ron Howard himself, or the great Neil Gaiman doing his class on the art of storytelling. And you guys have heard me talk about my favorite class, Business Strategy and Leadership by Big Papa Iger himself, Bob Iger, the new and returning CEO of Disney. So guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Just go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.